go on to pick our teams. We know that Alisson Becker will be in goal. Gorsty, I'll come to you for the back four. I'm expecting Joel Matip probably will come back in for this one, but is there any other changes you think could be made for the defence?
Tsimikas for Robertson is a bit of a shout, isn't it? But I don't see it myself. He could have done a lot better for the equaliser, but still think Robertson's top class left back, and I think he'll start. And I agree with you on the Matip front. I think he'll probably play alongside Virgil van Dijk.
Sean, what's it going to be for you? Is there a case for Tsimikas? Is there a case for maybe a couple of changes at centre-back, given that West Ham's to come at the weekend?
Yeah, I'd certainly go with Matip. I'd be half tempted to potentially include Gomez at right back, only because I would look to play 4-2-3-1 if at all possible. And, you know, as we've already said, I think that is heavily reliant on who would be fit to partner Henderson in a two. But I think if you're doing that and you've got four forwards effectively, you know, ahead of those two midfielders, it might be an occasion where you could get away with Gomez. I think I would be tempted to play Tsimikas, only because I'm not entirely sure of the international fixtures, but I'm guessing once again Robertson's going to have a busy schedule and will be required to play, you know, a couple of games for Scotland. You know, I'm not saying Tsimikas won't for Greece as well, but, you know, Robertson's been a busy man, hasn't he? So I think I would make that change. And but the possibility of Gomez in over Trent as well.
Donny, what about your defence? How many changes are you expecting?
Well, I hadn't considered Gomez at right back, but Sean's just talked me into it. And part of the reason is because 5 subs, and we'll get onto it in a bit. But I think I would have the back four. I would have Tsimikas playing. I'd have Matip and Van Dijk, and I'd have Gomez at right back, yeah.
Interesting. I'll stick with you for your midfield then. Is it a 3 or is it a 2 for you?
It's a 2, and my 2 are going to be Jordan Henderson, and I don't care how fit or not he is, I'm going to put Thiago in, simply because the 5 subs, if he's tired after 45, you take him off. And then you could even try putting Trent there, because he's going to be coming in off the bench. So I think they had a little... weird. I'm sure he played in midfield for about 5 minutes towards the end of the game on Saturday. Or it might just be my imagination. They were just moving around after a corner or something. But I'm sure he was there. But yeah, I'd have Henderson and Thiago as the 2.
Yeah, he did seem very central at times. Even in the first half, I thought that he was very, very in the middle trying to get the ball. But Gorsty, I'll come to you. Is it a 3 or a 2 in your midfield?
Yeah, it's going to have to be a 3. It's going to have to be the same 3 you started on Saturday. I mean, Doyley's put Thiago in his team there, but the reality is that the way Jurgen Klopp is with these vague updates, it might even be after the international break that we see Thiago. Hopefully that isn't the case, but you can never be too sure, can you? Because it's always very vague and open-ended. But yeah, I just think he's going to have to stick with the 3 we played on Saturday.
Sean, I think you're going for a 2-man midfield. Who is going to be partnering Jordan Henderson?
Yeah, well, from what both lads have said there, I do feel like I'm cheating slightly as well. But I would look to do Henderson and Thiago if at all possible, but fully accept, as Gorsty said, that, you know, it's touch and go at the very best, isn't it, in terms of how much training time Thiago's had. I mean, if he's not, I'd still try and do it. Interesting what Doherty said about a Trent cameo there, but I'd probably go Henderson and Jones if Thiago is definitely unavailable.
Yeah, Henderson and Jones, I think it is for me. I'll come back to you, Sean, as well for your front 4. Is it just the front 4, or is there a shout for a Minamino or a Origi, perhaps?
I think both of them have got a shout, but on Doyley's point before about the amount of subs available, I'd start with the 4 main men. You know, in the way that we've seen them cause a bit of damage a few times in this formation, haven't we? In the 4-2-3-1. So yeah, be Firmino and Salah. Well, Salah or Jota. Probably actually Jota up top on his own, given Salah's been thriving obviously in his usual position. So it's a bit more likely if he's on the right and Mane on the left. But yeah, I think Minamino certainly and Origi obviously being in the goals at Preston. They've more than earned a half-hour cameo if the game allows for it on Wednesday.
Donny, what about your front 4? Is it the same front 4 in the same positions as what Sean says?
Of course it isn't. I'm going to go with... Do you know what? I'm going to go with Firmino as the other midfielder. And I'm going to go Mane left, Salah right, and I'm going to put Origi up front because of the 5 subs. they could just change everything around because it's not Atletico Madrid won't be expecting it, and by the time they've sorted it out, they'll just change it at half time anyway.
Ghosty, 3 for you. So who's going to miss out? I think you're on mute there, mate.
I think Firmino's been excellent, hasn't he, last few weeks? So I just feel Jota seems to do his best work away from Anfield, so I might just keep it as it is. Mane on the left, Jota on the bench, Firmino and Salah.
Yeah, nice little Diogo Jota cameo. I think we'd all appreciate a little appearance off the bench from him to change the game, as we say. 5 substitutions to change things around for Jurgen Klopp. But those are our teams then. We'll go around and do our usual score predictions to finish. I'm going to go for another 2-2 draw, I think. Ghosty, how do you reckon it might be?
Yeah, as Doyley was picking his team, then I was thinking about the predictions. I think it'll be another really tough game. Liverpool don't really need maximum points. So yeah, maybe another entertaining 2-2 draw.
Dolly, are you in agreement, or do you reckon Liverpool might have the edge?
I don't think Liverpool have the edge. I think it'll either be 1-1 or a very narrow win for Atletico.
And Sean, to finish, any chance for a Liverpool win? None of us have gone for it so far.
Go on, I'll say Liverpool to nick it 2-1, but in reality, I think it'll be 1-1.
Interesting. Yeah, draws all round for us then. I'm sure Liverpool, to be fair, would take that given the position in the group that they're in. We'll have all of the build-up and the reaction to the game, of course, across the Liverpool Echo, Liverpool.com and the Blood Red channel over the next few days. For now, though, from myself, Matt Addison, Paul Gorst, Ian Doyle and Sean Bradbury, until next time, it's goodbye.